Hi there, Kim Coles here, and welcome to the Woo3 Show. Okay, so what does Woo3 means? It means woo, 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 woo. And if you know what that means, you know what that means. That is my iconic sitcom catchphrase, woo, 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 that you may know from the show Living Single. That's what Sinclair used to say. But a lot of people don't know it's actually something that my mother used to say. And what it means is, I love you, I see you, I acknowledge you. Or I see you, I love you, I acknowledge you. Or I got your back, I'm here with you, and you got this. You know, the whole energy of seeing and acknowledging others is something that my mother does and did very, very deeply when I was a kid and all through being a teenager and as an adult. And when I ad-libbed that on the set of Living Single, one day it ended up in the show for the rest of the seasons. And so this is the Woo3 Show. I'm doing something really special with this show. I launched it a little while ago and then stopped. And now I'm launching it again. It's time to really have these messages I'm going to be sharing with you. And I decided to do something really special and really cool. And let me explain. So I turned 60 in 2022. I turned 60 January 11th, 2022. 60. Yeah, it's a big number. And I'm really proud of that number. Not just because I made it, but because I've made it. And what I mean by that is I'm really making the life that I want. I'm really making the dreams that I want to come true. And there's something that clicks in at 60 that is really, really special. And the truth is there's something that clicks in at every age. And we'll talk to you about that in just a minute. But I thought that I would create this special series called 60 for 60. Yeah, 60 for FOR 60. I'm going to create 60 wisdoms, kimisms, stories, little experiences I wanted to share. If I have a little, hold on, I got a little thing for you. Here, look at this. Look at this. 60 for 60. I want to share 60 stories, 60 pieces of wisdom, 60 kimisms, just 60 things I'd like to share with you. And I talk a lot, so I may even go past 60 because, listen, I've lived and I've learned and I love to share it with others. So welcome to the Woo3 Show, 60 for 60 wisdoms and kimisms just for you. So the first thing I'd like to share with you, I don't know if I should hide this little thing. I'll let it go. I'll let it keep going. The first thing I want to share with you is that no matter what age or stage that you're in, it's the perfect place for you to be, and you need to work it for what it is. And what I mean by that is I said a few minutes ago that something really special clicked in at 60. So like I said, I turned 60 January 11th. January 10th, I felt like something was on its way in. I can't explain it. I don't know if the ancestors were talking to me or the spirit guides or just something in my soul was just aligning for me to feel a particular way when I woke up on the 11th. I feel as if something new dropped in. Have you ever had that feeling? And it doesn't have to be 60. It could happen at 50, it could happen at 40, it could happen at 20. And that's my point. It actually does happen at different ages and stages in your life. And it's called wisdom. It's that place of knowing and inner knowing and clarity of something that you now know that you may not have known a few years before. And I mean, that's what life is all about. You're here to learn and grow and understand things along the way and make, and yes, I'm going to do air quotes, mistakes along the way. By the way, there will be a lot of air quotes in this show because I don't think there are any mistakes. I think there are lessons. There are opportunities to learn, opportunities to see things a whole fresh new way. And no matter what age you are in or what stage you're in, that means the stage of life, whatever it is that you're doing or not doing yet, or whatever it is you're preparing to do, whatever the stage is, whatever the age is, it is valuable. It's a valuable age and stage, and you are valuable. Your knowledge is valuable. And the reason why I bring this up is most of my life, I have been very attuned to the fact that each and every one of us comes here with something special to share. And I've also been really attuned to not complaining or teasing an age that was not mine. So people my age generally talk about how silly the 20-year-olds. Oh, they're so stupid. They're so dumb. What do they know? But at 20, what did you know? You knew what a 20-year-old knew. The other thing is true too. The other age and stage works too. When I was younger, there was a point where I became really aware that I needed to respect other ages and stages. I didn't go, those old folks, they don't know what they're doing. They got funny dances. What kind of music is that? I found myself finding an appreciation for what they knew. And so that created in me this wealth of curiosity and desire to learn from both ages and stages. Let me give you an example. Of course, we know the wisdom that our elders have for us. Sometimes the warnings that they give us. Don't do that. If I were you, I would think twice about it. And I know sometimes it gets on your nerves depending on what age and stage you're in. But they've lived life and they've seen a thing or two. And maybe they haven't lived your life, or they haven't lived, they're a generation or two or three older. And so they've had their experiences. But there's a lot of truths that remain no matter where you're from, no matter what age or stage, no matter what place you're from, that remain truths. And there are times when our elders want to protect us, or they want to teach us something, or they want to share their stories. I would tell you to honor that and listen. They know a thing or two, and it's valuable. By the same token, I do not disrespect young people. Let me give you an example. It was a young person that taught us how to hold our phones like this. Like, hey, let me take these pictures. Hey, selfie. I don't know if we're still doing selfies. I don't even know. Only the young folks can tell you. But they don't hold their phones like this, looking down. They hold their phones up where they can catch the light, where their necks are long and elongated and they look amazing. Only a young person could teach you that. And I'm grateful because my pictures come out looking pretty good, thanks to the young folks. And so those are just small examples of ages and stages that you can learn from. There's so much to be revered and respected there. And I think that we would do well to be willing to let a younger person teach us a thing or two, and let our elders teach us a thing or two, our seniors teach us a thing or two. And I think that it will create more respect, more understanding, more love, which is what I think the world needs, right? And so respect your age and stage. Look, I'll say this, your body's going to change. Things are going to move. That's what gravity is for. They're going to move. And listen, you can pay to put them back up again. A good brassiere, some good Spanx, or a good plastic surgeon. Do what you got to do. Some good lotions and potions and creams. Like I'm the queen of like a mask and lotions and potions, and there's things that, listen, it takes me half an hour just to go to bed from all the lotions and potions I'm going to put on my face. I'm going to take good care, and you can too. So there's nothing wrong with doing the things to make yourself feel youthful and vibrant, right? But I think that there's something really special about embracing your age and not trying to be younger. I think there's a difference between trying to be younger and trying to be vibrant and have good energy and be aware of what people are talking about, be aware of what the new things are, because there was a time when you were young and you knew all the new hot things, and maybe an older auntie would like, show me how to do that, baby. So strive to be vibrant and full of life don't strive to be younger. Do you know what I mean? Don't strive to be something that you're not. I'm not saying don't look good. Don't wear the cute tight jeans if you can fit in them. But if you can't fit in them, get you something with some stretch. About 45 or so, you're going to want some stretch fabrics. And that's not a bad thing because you're stretching your life. You're stretching your life out. Your life will stretch out and you have to, I guess expand to go along with it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I'm saying embrace where you are. Do what you can to feel youthful and vibrant and joyful and joy filled and energetic, but you don't have to pretend to be an age that you aren't. And I know we live in a society that can be very ageist. I know that we live in a society that has a tendency to cast its elders away and oh, not give those people the best jobs, the best opportunities. But that doesn't mean that you can't embrace it for yourself. And we all know that we've seen women and men who got it going on, right? Who have that vibrancy, and you could tell that they're older, but they have that energy. And those are the people that you want to be around. Those are the people that will get hired. Those are the people who will have opportunities come their way. So you get to choose that for yourself. And if you're depressed about the age that you are, then that energy reverberates out in the world as well. So just a little wisdom, a little kimism on how I feel about your age and your stage. Embrace it, take it on. And I think even though the society does have a lot of ageism, I think it's shifting. I think it's changing. And I think that if we all decide that there is value in every age or stage, then we can share more love, share more light, share more wisdom, and have more of a connection with each other. All right. All right. So that is my first 60 for a tidbit for you, the first part of the show. Now, some of these shows will be just me. Some of these shows will be me out and about because I'm going to try to take this show on the road. I have some travel coming up. And so I'll try to make this, not just in front of my crazy bookshelf. And sometimes I'll have a guest. So I want you to stay tuned because I actually have a guest coming up on this episode. We just have to splice it together because she's going to come and do an interview right after this, right after I say bye-bye for now. So the magic of Hollywood, it will be spliced together. Her name is Ernetta Caldwell, and she's one of my clients. She's an amazing coach, an author, and teacher, and she does really special events to help women find their best selves, find their way through prayer. She has a very unique way of using prayer and vision. And I think you're going to fall in love with her because I already have. So stay tuned. That's coming up. And she is someone who she's younger than me, but I respect her age and her stage.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Ernetta. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this show right now. I'm so excited about all the things that you are doing in the world. All right. So I said that in your intro that we have a lot in common. So we're both authors, we're both speakers, coaches, and actresses. So I just want to talk for a second before we get into the coach piece and before we get into this wonderful event that you have to share with everybody. How do you balance all of those things?
Yes, well, I just want to start off by saying thank you so much, Coach Kim Coles, for having me. This is so amazing and I'm just overjoyed. But as far as with everything, it's all about balance, balance
Mhm.
and prayer. Can I throw that prayer in there? Because
Mhm.
some days I don't know how I do it all, but I know it's all because of the grace of God. He gives me the
Yeah.
strength.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about you. You are a very powerful prayer, and you're able to make very powerful prayers. And I admire that because I never really learned that skill. Like I pray in a really funny, goofy way. I just sort of talk to God. But you have this way of honing in your prayers so that they are intentional, clear, concise. I know God said, oh, Ernetta's calling. Let me pick up the phone. What is it about prayer and your connection in that way that is so powerful for you?
Well, for me, I would definitely have to say I started praying when I was a young little girl. And I feel like due to a lot of different experiences that I went through in my childhood, I had to learn how to pray. And
Mm.
so as I got older, of course, went through other things. And yeah, when you go through things in life, that's when you really learn how to get on your knees and pray.
You actually have a prayer closet, don't you?
I do.
Wow.
Yes.
That is, and tell me about how do you create a prayer closet? I mean, without telling the personal things that are in yours, because I'm sure it's very personal, but how does one go about creating a prayer closet?
Yeah, so if you ever seen the movie War Room, it's kind of like that where you just get a place and space, a closet. Maybe if you don't have a closet, you can get a designated area in your home. But in mine, I have pillows, I have a blanket, I have tissue, I have a journal and pen, and I also have sticky notes. So when people say, can you pray for me? I like to be very intentional about writing down their names and their prayer, and I stick it on the wall. So that's where I go.
I love this that you are willing to, and you're not only praying for yourself, you're willing to and able to pray for others. And do you think that adds to our prayer life to be praying for others around us as well?
Yes, it's so important. And especially what is going on in this world, we all need prayer. I always say you have to stay prayed up and prayed for. It's so important.
I like that. So tell me now and tell all of us now, I know because we've been working together for a while, and I just have loved watching you take this intention. And that's one of the words I would use for you. You are so very intentional. You take very inspired action. And I've watched you stay really on your path. And even when things come to knock them down, and hello, pandemic, but that didn't stop you, and hello, this, you really stay on track. And so talk to me about how we can create that mindset of staying on track in this way.
It's all about just staying focused and staying zoned in to know where you want to go. And of course, when you pray, you ask God for clarity and direction. Of course, distractions is going to come, right? Because they come for all of us, but you really have to just say, okay, that was a distraction, and just keep your focus and keep moving forward. That's the key.
Love it. I love it. In a moment, we're going to talk about this really special workshop that you have created for women. But I want to talk to you about, and again, intentional, and you use your own techniques. You're one of those people that, and this is to me the best kind of coach, uh, who walks their walk and talks their talk. So you do the work, you figure out what worked, and then you go and you teach others. So what inspired you to become a coach?
Well, what inspired me to become a coach was I remember when I was going through and I needed someone to coach me. And I remember just saying, who can I go to that's going to mentor me, who's going to help lead me, not judge me, right? Because we need someone that's going to be real with us, but help to lead us and not to judge us to get us to the next place. So I knew that once I got into the position to start doing coaching, that's what I was going to do.
Mm. And I love that you are, like I said, you fully embody it. And there are people who, talk from a place of learned, not well, I say book knowledge. I love that you bring your life knowledge, your life experience to the work that you do. So I remember, I'll say probably like a year or so ago, that you told me the story about finding your husband. And there's a very specific thing that you said that you did. And I was like, well, how you do that? And you told me that you dated God. And I was like, well, how you date God? So talk to me a little bit about dating God. And then we're going to tell everybody about the workshop.
Yes. Well, dating God is all about just putting God first in all that you do. For myself, I had went through a devastation of a divorce, and I remember I was just so broken, and I was at a point of sometimes just wanting to give up on life. And I was willing to take that risk to love again when I got to that place to say, you know what? There will be someone great out there for me. But during that time frame, it was about me and God. I wasn't even thinking about a mate. I was just thinking about getting closer to God, reading my word, praying, and just trusting him for everything. And yeah, so that's how it got started.
And how long did you date God
Oh,
before
well,
he
let me tell you this. I'm now remarried, and you date God forever. Okay,
good
just so you
answer.
know.
So
But
God
I mean,
remains your forever. You're forever, ever. Okay, good to
forever.
know. Well, I think
But
that's actually really well, I cut you off. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that that was really poignant what you just said. What you didn't say and what you just said was, I think that people sometimes get what they want, get the desires of their heart, whether it's a soulmate or the house that they want, or have the babies that they want, or the job that they want, or the business that they want, and they forget to connect back in with source. So, can you speak to that a little bit?
Yes, the key with that is you have to seek God for everything. It says, "Seek ye the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." So, even when you get the car, when you get the soulmate, whatever you get, you still have to seek him, because in life there's going to be other things that come your way, and you're still going to need him
Okay.
regardless.
See, I like that. So you don't cast him aside. Okay, I like
No,
that. You know, there are people who do that, and we see how that turns out, don't we? Okay.
yeah.
So, tell us. So you have this, beautiful workshop. I shouldn't keep teasing about it. I'm actually gonna, because I figured out how to do this. I'm gonna share my screen and share this beautiful um, uh, a flyer that you have with everyone, and of course we're going to give everyone the tips and techniques on how to get into the class. It's this beautiful class workshop called Dating God Until Mr. Right Comes. And you're now saying even you date God even after Mr. Right comes, which I love. So I love that you're going to talk about, are you waiting for Mr. Right to find you? Are you tired of being single? And you know that God has created you to be a wife. So give us some tips, or a tip that you are going to be sharing with us, these, strategies and tools that you're going to share during this really wonderful workshop that you're putting out in the world, which I love.
Yes. So, of course, like I said, dating God is just putting him first in all things, but as well as what a lot of women sometimes we tend to not do is self love. And a lot of times we have to work on ourselves even before a mate comes. And that's so important to do that work. But it's all about, if your heart's desire is to say, I want to be a wife, and maybe people have talked you out and said, there's no good men out here, but you have to be careful of the words you're saying, because of course, if you say that, you're going to attract a no good man, right? So you have
And
to
there's
really
our
be,
map.
yeah. So you really have to be intentional about, dating God and loving yourself. So I'm going to be doing a lot of teaching on that.
I can tell you that, you've met my beloved Dr. EJ. And I'm going to tell you that, you know, maybe I wish I had met you a few years ago, because, but I figured it out. I didn't have you to teach me this piece of it. I figured out that it was indeed loving myself. It was indeed being very clear and intentional about what I deserved, and the type of woman I wanted to be to match the kind of man that would come in. And I think a lot of times, we don't look at ourselves and look at our own patterns. And I'm not talking about blaming ourselves, but take the responsibility to go, let me love myself in this way so that I can attract someone who will love me in this way also. And I love that you did that, and you took the time, instead of, bouncing into another relationship, or blaming yourself, or looking what was wrong, just to go, how can I stand still? It feels to me like you stood still and just connected with what really mattered. Would you say that's what you did?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But I did, in my prayer life, I did pray to God. In the prayer that I said to God, I said, God, send me a husband that will love me for loving you. So I had to be intentional about what type of man I wanted. And another tip, write down the characteristics that you want to see in a man. That was just so important. I wanted someone that was loyal, someone that was trustworthy, someone that would love me and treat me like a queen. And every woman deserves that.
Nice. I love, again, being intentional and being very specific, and also you're writing down the values that you require. And I get the deep sense that you were willing to rise up to those values yourself, to become the version of you that would match with, with those characteristics that you wanted, right? I love
Yes.
that. Like what really is important. I love this. This is great. So on February 27th, and I've got this really cool little ticker I'm going to put up. Hold on just a minute. It's going to come across the screen so people can register. um, I urge you, this is a virtual event. You don't have to travel anywhere. Ernetta is going to be there for you on the 27th. It is a virtual event. How long? What are the hours for this event?
It's going to be a 3-hour event.
Great. So you're going to take people through the exercises, the tips, the strategies, understand, and then really just embody that. And you can just go to ernettacaldwell.com. There's the information right there, Ernetta Caldwell. And I've already been to the site. It's really easy to register. You just click on the site. There's a place that has this beautiful flyer that you've created that is about really, really love and deep connection to God and to you and to the one that you want. And the one that you want, would you say that, I don't know, some of the secrets are that the one that you want is you and the one that is right for you. Would you say that?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. You are a
Yeah.
mirror reflection of who you want and who you're going to attract.
You're speaking my language. What would you say to someone who has been heartbroken many, 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 many times? And I'll take the flyer down so we can see your lovely face. What would you say to someone who just feels like it's just not her time? Like, I've just been heartbroken. I can't open my heart again. What would you say to her?
I would say don't give up on love. That's one thing I didn't do. And of course, when we're initially hurt, you feel that hurt, right? Hurt people, but healed people heal people. And so you have to think about where you are right now. You're not going to be there forever. Seasons change. So I had to trust and believe that, for me, God, I'm now on the other side, but God, He turned my pain into beauty, my sadness into strength, and my dark places into my destiny. And now I'm walking in my purpose and I'm able to reach back to encourage other women. And so you have to believe where you are right now, you will do the same thing. So you will take the risk to love again. Just
Mm.
trust God.
Look at this. We're getting coached right now. Thank you, Coach Ernetta. Thank you. Thank you. I have to tell you what I love about the work that you do. So, again, I love that you are a speaker, an author, a coach, and that you're also an actress, and that you really are living all parts of your dreams. And I don't know if anybody has ever told you, because people told me too, that you can't do it all. You're going to have to pick one. And I love that you've chosen to have a bit of it all. And like you said, we talked about balance. But the first event that I knew about of yours, and I have it right here, is your prayer vision box.
Yes.
I have it right here. Look at the beautiful marble. Look at the beautiful glitter. And I want you to talk about this because you do these off and on throughout the year. And I feel like this is one of your signature products. Like, this is something that you do and you're going to do again and do again. And it's so valuable. I've attended one of them and had the experience of looking at vision boards in a whole new way. It's a whole box. Can you talk a little bit about your prayer vision box?
Yes. So the prayer vision box, it was actually birthed from the time I was going through my separation. I felt broken. I wanted to give up on life. And my little girl at the time, she was 7. And one day she came to me and she said, Mommy, let's create a vision board. So if you're a mom, you already know. I'm like, this is not the time. I don't want to do arts and craft. But of course I did it. And as I cut out the pictures, it was like something changed. I started to not only think about where I currently was or even my past, I started looking at my future. And actually, I share this photo. This was an actual picture that I cut out with my daughter of a bride and groom, because I believe that even though I was going through the heartbreak, that one day God will send my Mr. Right. And He did. Shout out to my husband, Anthony. I love you.
Hello, Anthony. By the way, we've been on coaching calls together. She's in one of my programs, or actually 3 of our programs. Annetta's doing great things. She's got a course coming out. Never forget the day that we were in class, and you went and fixed him a plate and came back, and he came and kissed you on the cheek, and you just have this. You attracted your soulmate, and he's there to support you and love on you. And so, show your box. I love it. Show it.
Yeah, so in the prayer vision box, so this is what it looks like, and it's all about pray it, believe it, and see it. You have to believe it. You have to see what you want. And I have a lot of things in here. So you create your prayer vision board. So all those things you have been praying for, all of your dreams, your goals, and things that you want to see manifest in your life. And then the love of the box for me is when you actually do things, or you collect souvenirs. Maybe you go on that dream vacation. You place it in here as a keepsake. So it's a reminder, especially when those times get hard. You can look at it and say, God answered that prayer for me. So
I love it. So I'm going to be a bad student and tell you that I have not yet done the picture. But what I do have in here, and you know that I'm really into crystals, and so I have all these different crystals that are about attracting prosperity, health, well-being. I have everything in the box ready to happen. These are my stickers that say, "You've got this, almost there. Enjoy the little things." I've got some beautiful stickers and those are tattoos you can actually put on your body. So I've been collecting the things in here that I want to make the art, because it's something about putting your creativity as you're putting your intention, as you're putting your prayers, as you're visioning your future. And I love the idea of a box, because so many people do vision boards and they're fine. But I like that you get to have a place to now keep the keepsakes. So as you do the things, you put it in here, and then you can open it, and that it's kept safe and dust free. And I think that a lot of us, I've done this before. I've had vision boards and it just goes up on a wall, but after a few months, I forget to look at it. It just becomes a blend of the space. This is a special thing that you can take out or keep in your prayer closet and add to it, and congratulate yourself and celebrate yourself when it comes true. So I just think it's innovative and just really beautiful. So if you connect with Ernetta Caldwell, and you will, and when you go to her website, and you will, there'll be a place to connect with her and stay connected with her. You are Ernetta Caldwell on all of the website, on all of the social medias, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, good. And so that way people can get on your wait list for the next prayer vision party. You don't want to miss it. She, does them live and has a virtual aspect too for you. So if you're in whatever city she's traveling to do it in, you can be there live. And I love that you also included that virtual element, and you really do create this beautiful interactive experience so that everyone feels as if they're activating their visions with power, purpose, and prayer.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anything else that you want to share with the people other than come on to Ernetta Caldwell's live virtual event, Dating God Until Mr. Right Comes Along? Hold on, let me put that back there. Dating God Until Mr. Right Comes, February 27th. It will be virtual. Anything else you want to share?
And I just want to say too, like, if you see my shirt, it's Dating God Till Mr. Right Comes. You can get your shirt. If you see, you can order your shirt so you can wear it at the event as well. We're in this together. Listen, I want to tell all the single ladies out there that you are not forgotten. You are loved, you are valued, and you are approved by God. So I'm rooting you on, and God's got you.
I love that you have merchandise already. This is wonderful. And wouldn't it be, and listen, so before you go, first of all, go get your ticket. Then go get your t-shirt from her shop, because it's on the website, the shop. And then you show up as a community of strength and beauty and belief that this is possible for you and for everyone else. And I think that when we, especially as women, when we shine in that way, we give others permission to say, oh, it's possible for me too.
That's right. Look, if God has done it for me, he'll do it for you.
Was your dress prettier than hers? I've seen your pictures. It was. Wonderful. Ernetta, thank you so much for being, a bright, shiny light in the world. Thank you for being a lighthouse and a way shower. Thank you for taking all of those difficult moments and turning them into gold, and then lighting the way for others. Because so many people, well, there's people who just stay bitter, right? And there's people who get better, but not everyone decides to say, I'm going to show other people the way. And I think that's what makes you so special and so amazing and so successful. So I know it's going to be a great event. And thank you for coming on and sharing it with us. Everybody go get your tickets at www.ernettacaldwell.com. That's how you say your name, by the way.
Thank you so much, Coach Kim. I want to say thank you. I really appreciate you in this opportunity. And I want to say thank you, God, for all that you've done, because he gets the glory out of my story.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next time. All right.